Hey Gemini, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your December general reading here. So let's get into your meditation. I will say, firstly, I feel the impetus to slow down and honeycoat my voice, which I feel like is a message around, advice for you. The first thing that I saw in your meditation was the Polar Express. It's a film, I believe. Tom Hanks, it's an animated film. And I heard, all aboard the Polar Express. And I saw you guys on this bullet train, right? And I saw you moving through a blizzard, right? And here's the thing. The path was obstructed from the blizzard, right? The path was obstructed. You couldn't necessarily see where you were going, but the train followed the track that was underneath it, even though it couldn't see the way forward and what was coming up around the next corner. It still continued onward, okay? I also saw this image of this bullet train in a snow globe, and I'm getting really big deja vu, actually, to around this time last year for you. There's a message here about looking at this time last year for you, where you were, what you were thinking about, you wanted to accomplish this year. There's something about looking back to this time last year for you that could provide some perspective or comfort, something about that. I heard off the rails or derailed. Okay. I saw this train in a snow globe and I saw it trying to go forward, but instead it was encased within the confines of said snow globe. So it was trying to go forward, but it was going up and around and back and around until it just settled in the middle. It completely powered down because it realized that they really couldn't go anywhere. And then I saw you guys making the most of it on the train that you were on where you were. And then with time, I saw the sun come out, the way cleared, the snow globe dissolved. The sun came out. I saw you guys emerging from the train within the snow globe, going and sitting somewhere that was very, very sunny with a honey badger next to you. A honey badger on your lap. I feel like the honey, I want to say honey, 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 honey. It just feels very pertinent somehow. When I think of honey, I think of bees. You don't say, not really a stretch there, which for me is about teamwork. Working together to achieve a common goal. When I also think about the train, that's also more than one person on a train heading forward into the unknown together, maybe not knowing what's coming up next, but knowing that you have a track underneath your feet which to follow. The honey badger for me is about ferocity, but it's also about knowing that while you do have the energy and potential to fight for what's yours, to stand up for what's yours, to get your own needs met, to speak out around something that feels unfair or unjust or unequal or imbalanced or whatever have you, on the other flip side of that, there is a beautiful energy and power within a stillness and appreciation and embodying the opposite end of that energy. So if you are feeling in your given situation, you're feeling the impetus or the call or the movement around, being forward, taking action, going about something in a certain way, this masculine forward, almost like very strong magician energy, but it feels a bit edgier than that. You're being asked, can you move forward ahead from a place of trust, which means that you're being asked not to build the map, not create the map or try to see the map too far ahead right now. It feels like you're being called to appreciate where you are and be good with what you have. I feel like the path is going to be made clear the more that you embrace where you are fully, like here and now, interestingly enough. Let's get your animal. Oh my God. Literally, I cannot. Okay. So we have the oyster here. Literally, what was I just talking about? Not trying to see too far ahead, not trying to build a blueprint or the map or, you know what I mean? It's really just about, okay, I'm going to make the best of where I am. Like when that train just powered down and decided to love where they were within that snow globe. And it was only then with time and patience and gratitude that they, were able to move into a place where the sun came out and they were able to emerge, right? It's really interesting that you're getting the oyster here, which I'm really obsessed with. So the oyster energy, this equates to like a Two of Swords for me. Okay, Two of Swords. Well, not just for me, but it's like a Two of Swords energy, which is very much about allowing the head and the heart to work in tandem together as teammates. Right? And sometimes it can help, especially because this is a water energy here, which speaks of, emotion, intuition, and inner depths, right? Sometimes it can help to hold a conference, especially as an air sign. You might be able to get down with this, right? Where you hold a conference between your head and your heart, and you personalize it, you give them an image or whatever this works for you in terms of like a mental exercise, sitting down and go, okay, head, you're over here. Okay, heart, you're over here. Now, who wants to take the floor? Who has been, operating in greater expression than the other? And the other, do you want to take some time to be, make up some of that time that you haven't been in such great expression, right? Because there does seem to be an imbalance going on where either your head has been in more full expression or your heart. You're asking to blend together the two. They want to work together. There is this desire for balance and equality. Okay, because it feels a bit weeble wobble tip top, you know what I mean? Like the seesaw's down a bit, and it wants to come up and be of a, a stable and balanced surface. I'm seeing one of those tools, I have no idea what it's called, but in construction, it's those tools, it's like oh my God, it's like a railroad track, interestingly enough. It looks like a railroad, like a piece of railroad track, but then it has that liquid, like piece in the middle where it's a level. I think it's called a level actually, where you put it on a piece of wood or something, and if it's level, the liquid will be, straight up, and if it's off, it'll be a little askew side to side. There's something about that for you, right? With the level. I'm also getting yellow around the honey aspect of it as well. There's something about the yellow. The yellow equates to your solar plexus chakra, that is where you receive the world. That's your self-confidence. That's how you see yourself. That's how you relate to yourself, which also governs how you relate to others in the world. You're being asked to really take some time in your inner depths, in your own energy, and balance yourself out. Okay, let me reframe that. Allow balance to be achieved with and through you, because it feels like allow is a key word here, okay? Also, another aspect of oyster energy is that, did you know that the pearl that's formed inside the oyster is a defense mechanism from foreign particles trying to get within the oyster? So the pearl is formed as a defense mechanism. It's true. Something in that for you. Ace of Cups, y'all. Ace of Cups. So again, with this water energy, I really like it. So remember what I was just saying about your relationship with yourself in terms of the solar plexus chakra governs also how you relate to and with others? Yes. So Ace of Cups, this is about your relationship with yourself. Self-love, self-perspective, reflection, right? This is a beautiful way of, it's another angle, it's another perspective around this Two of Swords that I'm picking up on for you, right? You are really being called to spend some time with and for yourself, looking into your own reflective surface and going, okay, I'm holding a conference. Who has what to say? I'm really hearing that, to hold a conference with and for yourself, right? And again, it's not doing that in an effort to go, what do I do next? Where do I go next? It's about, I'm going to hold a conference with and for myself, especially with my twin. As a Gemini, you do have a twin energy. I just did an Instagram live, and this came up in that reading as well, where you do have a twin as a Gemini, and a dual aspect of your energy that sometimes is in less prominent expression than your primary aspect, right? You're being asked to spend some time with your secondary aspect of yourself, that twin aspect of you that wants to be heard and seen. It feels like it's either not had much room for it to come into expression, you haven't had time for it, or it's been denied in some way. What you do not deal with will deal with you, Gemini. And I don't mean that to sound scary. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but that's what I'm getting here. Allow yourself that time to really sit with whatever comes up. Okay? Yeah. You know, that's interesting too. They're showing me the honey badger with the sitting in the sunshine after the snow globe melted away. I'm also hearing that what comes on the other side of this, you know, in terms of, I feel like it's a point of what will be illuminated within for you. The more that you are where you are without thought of what comes next or what has been, that's where the golden illumination and the inspiration and the clarity will come from. The clarity comes from the now moment for you, Gemini, right? And so within that, that's where the sun comes out. It's like I am where I am now, and then boom, I'm able to see more in any direction I want to. So by being in the now, you get to see what is to come. You get to have an eye on what comes next. What can I do to get what I want, right? Interesting. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, see the Ace of Pentacles here. So Gemini, something's going on. You have two aces here. 2 aces in a row. So this is the penultimate energy of its given suit, right? So it just means it's in the, you know, largest, most forward expression of itself. So the Ace of Pentacles, this is big money, this is big stability, big foundation, all of that good stuff, right? But what I'm really drawn, this can also speak of matters of the home as well, and you know, being in a place where your mind is very much about the material things of what matters to you, whether that be the work that you do, your relationship to the work that you do, the money that you make, are those two evenly keeled? How do you feel about the work that you do? Are you in a job or are you in a career? Does the work that you do feel like work or not, right? But I'm really drawn to the beetle aspect of this as well, because the beetle is also about, you know, using resources that are at your disposal that may not be so obvious. Right? These are the less than obvious resources that by being in the now moment, because the Ace of Cups is also about intuitive downloads and insights, right? They can only come from stillness and being where you are. If you sit down to be in stillness or practice mindfulness and you end up engaging in analysis paralysis, this goes right out the window. This is not able to do that, right? This is like, I'm going to sit here and allow whatever in the quiet or in some nice, like, you know, calm music, I'm going to allow whatever wants to come up, and I'm going to sit with it and not deny it. I'm not going to put a timer on, right? Because there are things that want to come up with it for you, Gemini. I think things that want to be brought up to the forefront so that they can be recognized and healed. This has been a year. I don't care who you are or where you are. Oh. Okay, you know I believe in sound effects. This has been a year. And how you may or may not have persevered through it on whatever scale or whatever that has looked like with and for you, there are some things that want to come up to be processed. And you're being asked to do so through the context of your heart and your head working in tandem. Okay? This is the map. This is how you can move through this potential energy, right? In the most constructive way, honestly. And right, so back to this Ace of Pentacles and the beetle here, really about using the resources at your disposal. But I feel like this is an aspect of you knowing what you need to do, and it's about you going about doing it. It's like you know what you need to do, but there feels like there is this fear of what might come up from doing it. Interestingly enough, or an avoidance of some kind. Guys, I've been filming most of today. I have never had these sound effects, and I feel like it's a message, honestly. I feel like you're being called to really whittle out the distractions, but also observe the distractions that you create for yourself. Again, with this snow globe and the train moving forward and really taking and making time if you need to be where you are and be with whatever comes up within and for you, right? As an air sign especially, making time for this so that your emotions and your mental thoughts can be on equal footing, that's the key to clarity, okay? Knight of Wands. Is this a shadow? Are we talking about a twin with this Gemini twin energy and aspects? Is that what's going on? We're talking about making time to connect in with the twin and the aspects of yourself that, maybe haven't seen the light of day in a while. And then we have an ostrich looking at a shadow. traditionally speaking, Knight of Wands, this is fast forward energy. The wands rule the realm of the actions that we take. Look at how still this ostrich is. Be still enough, long enough to see your own shadow. I'm also drawn to the fact that I saw the Gemini collective with that honey badger in the bright light of day. You know, it's only in the light of day that we can have our shadow be present as well, if you think about it, right? Interestingly enough, there's something about that. But do you see the equality and the balance that is coming up with this key? Also, with the ostrich, this is a defense, like back to this defense mechanism thing. This is a defensive posture. The reason that the ostrich puts its head down like that, and again, we were talking about avoidance as well, and they have that saying, head in the sand. The reason that the ostrich takes this defensive posture is so that predators far away will only see this part of the ostrich, and it'll look like, you know, like a boulder, a stone. Doesn't look like dinner to me, right? But if they were to see the whole thing, they're like, oh, yum, yum, right? But there also is this energy too of like the ostrich's weapons, right, are its legs and the power that comes from using them. And it's very still. And again, I saw that honey badger with understanding that sometimes the greatest power is understanding that you can have within you everything that you have within you, but be still and not necessarily have it be in prominent expression. I feel like there's forgiveness. I'm hearing the word forgiveness. And this could be forgiveness towards yourself and or others, but there's forgiveness that wants to come to the forefront here. Forgiveness. You know, there's just been this theme with you, Gemini, lately, where it just feels like you've been extra hard on yourself, right? But I'm hearing that the path is so clear with this. You have this opportunity, right? I'm hearing lay down sword and shield and be at rest. There is this opportunity here. That it's like Eckhart Tolle says, right? Like being in the now moment, but doing it actively, right? Not being in the now moment by, you know, being in your home and being busy around the house. That ain't being in the now moment. You know what I mean? You're thinking about what can I do so that it's done, right? That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm feeling here. Being in the now moment is being unafraid to sit in the silence and quiet and stillness of where you are and allow whatever comes up to come up. You're being asked to really do that, Gemini. It feels like the water's a bit muddy and you're asking, you know, you are being led to a path of a way to clear that water, to let it flow easily for and with you, right? And by water, I mean your path ahead. I mean your abundance, your manifestation, your happiness, right? Emotional detoxification. Oh, whoa. Well, that's fascinating. 5 of Pentacles. Look at this caterpillar and these cocoon realness with this owl. This is really... Remember what I was saying with the Ace of Cups? And then we have the 5 of Pentacles with this caterpillar and cocoon. We're talking about being within your own energy. And then we have cocoons and closed oysters. Hello and goodbye. Listen, traditionally speaking, the 5 of Pentacles is feeling separate from what you need or separate from what you desire. The fear of I won't have everything or anything that I need, whether this is financially, home-wise, interpersonal relationship, it is a fear of lack, feeling separate from. I feel outside of what I want. I feel very far from where I want to go. That's what 5 of Pentacles is. What I'm really drawn to here is this theme of patience. Because within the cocoon, we have this owl here, right? It's this lurking threat of the predator, right? Where this owl could fly up and get down with these cocoons at any point in time, and that would be it. You cannot protect yourself within a cocoon, not really. Not from a predator who wants to get in there, right? But then we have the caterpillar, right? And I'm really drawn between this bridge. The caterpillar goes, so it's egg, caterpillar, cocoon, moth, right? Or butterfly, but you know, I'm gonna go with the moth. There's this aspect here of the bridge between 2 cycles in your life about where you are, right? Caterpillar going down the road as best it can, but you know, it's not a fast moving animal. It kind of is where it is at any given time because it has to be, right? It's not able to be the owl and fly up above and see in all directions of time and space. Again, caterpillar, Ace of Cups, being where you are in the stillness, right? And what is this bridge between the caterpillar? The caterpillar is very much about You know, trusting the road ahead, even though you can't see what's coming up next. Again, back to the meditation point, back to the oyster of limited sight and vision. What you can see clearly is yourself in relationship to your now moment, right? So what is this bridge between the uncertainty of the caterpillar and the safety of the cocoon? What are you afraid of is inside of that cocoon when you really sit within your own energy? What's going on there? Interesting. You know, I'm hearing, and one of my dear friends said this recently, and it's so true. The phrase that abundance lies on the other side of fear. And I'm getting that in such a big way for you. Abundance lies on the other side of fear. The pearl, the defense mechanism, what is born out of fear, this pearl inside of this oyster, that's the key. And yet it's really like clamped shut here. Abundance lies on the other side of fear. Abundance lies on the other side of you taking the risk and being brave enough to open up and share what's inside with yourself and with others. Seven of Wands to clarify the Ace of Pentacles. So this is really interesting. So traditionally speaking, the Seven of Wands is about a lot of effort. It really is. It's the climb up, it's the build up, it's a lot of effort, right? But there's also this energy around the Seven of Wands of your perspective dictates the journey around the Seven of Wands. Because this is what I always say with this. It's with that John Mayer song always pops into my head with I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for with this key, right? Because it really is about a shift in perspective. If you see yourself as bigger than the obstacles that you face, then so it is. But if you see your obstacles as being bigger than you are, than your capabilities are of dealing with them, then that is the case, right? This is about perspective just as much as it is about action, right? Now, I'm really obsessed because crocodile energy is very much about timing, knowing when to move and when to be still. Remember, back to this cocoon, back to that patience that I said around that snow globe and waiting out and being where you are. Listen, what is yours cannot be taken from you. You will not miss out on what is yours because what is yours is yours. Anything that you air quote miss out on was not yours to begin with. Anything that you air quote lose was not yours to begin with. So this fear around not having what you need or not being where you want to be or losing someone or something, it is as simple as a shift in your perspective to go, I really can't control any of that. But what I do have power around is the inner maintenance with that level. And I feel like that's what you're being called to do here, Gemini, is some inner maintenance, right? And have patience with yourself and forgiveness with yourself around your needs around that, right? You know, this time of year in particular, there's a lot of, gotta be together, gotta talk, gotta communicate. It's the holiday time of year. There's this and that, and a lot of go and do. But let's take a cue from this year and just go. You know what? How about the best gift that you can give to others is the gift that you can give to yourself of just truly being present and coming from where you are, from that authentic place of this is what I have to give, and if it's not enough for you, then you don't belong in my atmosphere, at least not for right now. What I have to give is more than enough. And those who are truly of my family, those who are truly, of my soul group, it's going to be more than enough for them. Anyone who demands more from me, myself included, they just don't have a seat at this table. And I'm making that be the case. I am saying that it's so. Okay? Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. Ooh, Knight of, ooh. Look at what's at the bottom, the Lovers. I actually want to talk about, ooh, a moth. Let's talk about, okay, wait. I want to talk about this as well. I feel like these are both for y'all. So first of all, Knight of Pentacles to clarify the Knight of Wands. What have we been talking about? Being where you are and going slowly and having patience. And then we have the slowest moving knight that there is. Hello and goodbye. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow mover. He takes his exact time getting to where he's going. I'm also drawn to the Sun here. that we saw in the meditation. You know, the donkey is such a beautiful energy because the donkey gives to others. The donkey is of service, energetically speaking and otherwise, right? You're being called to be of service with and for yourself. Okay? I feel like you do give a lot to others. I feel like you're of service to a lot of people, you know, in whatever way, shape, form that is, whether that's your family, your friends, your coworkers, your shoulder to cry on, your listening ear, you're someone to turn to when someone needs a good laugh or whatever that is for you. You are being asked to give that for yourself because it feels like you are about at a point where it's like, this is what I have left, right? And you're being asked to turn that around for yourself and go, hey, worry about yourself first. Worry about yourself first. And if it helps you to think of it this way, if the more you give to yourself and build up those reserves, the better able you'll be, or the more able you'll be to be there for others and help others out, right? But you can't give from an empty cup. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, and then you have the Lovers here, which I'm really, really obsessed with. Remember how we saw the caterpillar here, and we're talking about the cocoon and the moth here? These are the stages, right? Okay, this is really deep right now. Hold on, I want these to like go over here. This is what it is. So first of all, yes, the Lovers, your energy here, Gemini energy. Choices in love, right? We have the egg is not pictured. The egg happens. And then the caterpillar, right? Into the cocoon, into the fully formed moth. Now what happens? How do we get from this cocoon into the moth formation? I feel like is at the heart of this reading right now. Scorpions come up when, let me put it this way. Scorpions are activated energetically when we don't have enough alone time. I was just talking about this on Instagram Live. When we don't have enough alone time. Also, look at this mirror effect, and look at this mirror effect with snakes. Haven't we been talking about spending more time with your twin? The other aspect of you that is not in more prominent expression at the given moment. By the way, both sides of you are wonderful. There's not one that's better than the other. There's just one that's in more prominent expression I'm feeling than the other one. And the other one wants some airtime here with you, right? To achieve balance and equilibrium, right? Then we get up, so this is how we get from here to here. We give ourselves alone time and expression to delve within the deep, 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 deep oceans of our emotions, right? We go there. We allow ourselves to go there. We face it. Moth medicine, actually. The tagline of moth medicine is face your shadows and transform. That's what you're being asked to do. Face your shadows and transform. So we allow ourselves to do that. Or if this is Scorpion is facing our shadows, then we go up to snake energy, which is shedding the old skin, right? Shedding the old skin so we can transform anew with a lighter load, which allows us to, you know, metamorphose into the fully formed moth. Which, guess what? The moth is such a light energy. It carries no load at all. This is the key, Gemini. This is the map. This is the map. Embrace the uncertainty that you're feeling. Embrace the uncertainty and the unknown ahead. Be where you are. Go slowly at your own pace. Be patient. Go within the cocoon alone. Face your shadows and transform. Be exactly where you are without feeling obligation or guilt that you should be somewhere else or doing something else or there for someone else. This is only for you. And in doing so, shed that old skin, get a new one, and transform where your load is a lot lighter. This is the map. This is exactly it, Gemini. This is it spelled out right for you. Okay? Let's get an oracle for y'all. Let's get an oracle for Gemini. Let's do it. Little Bear by Amos Lee. I feel like this was in your November reading maybe, where it was about be as kind to yourself as you would a child that you love. That's coming back up around for you, okay? Oh gosh, okay. The moon. Okay, let's talk about this. The moon has many phases and stages of being. Do you see where I'm gonna go with this? Many stages and phases of being. I'm also drawn to the fact that 7 plus 3 is 10, which reduces down to 1, which is that solitary singular energy. Okay, I want to say something on a special note. If you have fear about letting other people down or disappointing people, or that you're going to lose people by being within your own energy and giving this time for yourself, putting the phone on do not disturb and fully cocooning, if you have fear around that, release it. Because anyone who's truly on your side and on your team and of your highest and best good will be there on the other side of this. All you have to do is communicate it. Hey, I'm feeling this. I'm going to go do this. I'll see you on the other side. There's a fear of loss, I feel. I feel like it's going to be different for you. Maybe you fear that you're going to lose something of yourself by going and facing these things. Maybe you're afraid that you'll unravel, or that if you let yourself go there, that you're going to break into a million pieces and like Humpty Dumpty, you won't be able to put yourself back together again. It's going to be different for everybody, but there's a distinct fear here around it. So the moon energy talks about all the different stages and phases of the moon, and I swear it says this in the accompanying book. This is about being exactly where you are and understanding that each phase of the moon has equal value and purpose. We can't always be full. We have to allow ourselves to go through these different cycles, right? I want to point something out. Remember that snow globe I saw? Remember the Polar Express where I saw you guys going up and down and around all within this circle? And then we have it beautifully shown here. It's like a little cheeky nod, right? Allow yourself to be where you are. Understand, Gemini, especially as a Gemini, that like wherever you are is more than good enough, as long as you are where you are. But if you're half where you are, right? What does that mean, half where you are? Like, who, you Willy Wonka? Like, what I mean is, if I am feeling, for example, afraid, exhausted, and like I don't have very much to give, but I'm putting that aside or stifling it and continuing to be there for others, give from an empty well, and act like I'm okay when I'm not, that's not being where you are. Being where you are is acknowledgement, going, hey, I am afraid, I'm uncomfortable, I'm depleted. So I don't have much to give right now. And I'll see you on the other side of where I am. That is being where you are. Okay? Gemini, you absolutely got this. I feel like, on the other side of this, you're going to be filling your tank up completely. Should you choose to do this, this is all up to you. None of this happens without you, of course, right? And there's no one right or wrong way to go about this. Cocooning for one person might be quite literal, where they put the phone on do not disturb, they turn the lights off, and they crawl up in bed under the covers, and they just are there, right? They eat every meal in bed. That's cocoon for some people. Other people's cocoon takes a bit of a different form. It's all in relationship to what outside of the cocoon looks like for you, right? Other people cocoon could be, not doing that, but still, talking and socializing, but on a much smaller scale, calling it a night earlier, turning off the phone a little bit earlier, getting into bed earlier and saying they're sleeping, but really they're taking that time to read or meditate or draw, right? They're putting the do not disturb up sign a little bit earlier. This is going to be different for everybody, but do what works for you. You're being invited to do so. This has been a year. Allow yourself to take the time that wants to be taken so that you can reach balance and equilibrium and give to yourself so that you can turn around and give to others, okay? Just saw 3333 on the timer. You're being called to balance. Okay, mind, body, spirit. All right, Gemini, this is your December general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. This is the last reading of 2020. So I want to say a very special, extra special thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your support, as always, and especially during this year. And I am wishing you a most blessed and happy and prosperous and exciting and warm and toasty and hot cocoa filled December. And with that being said, as always, just thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being you, and be well until next time.